so, we talked about the fast paced lifestyle and, how you're kind of just running and gunning and going to schools and deploying and, it's extremely aggressive and actually just absolutely amazing. And then there gets to be a point where for me, it was like I never knew how to take a knee and slow down a bit. And so I think what happened was, along with my pre-military experience, and then all of the, experiences that I had in the Army, I just began to really burn out and to realize that I was moving too fast. I was disconnected from myself and my other people, my community, and started to take a toll on my physical health, my mental health, and emotional health as well. And so just recognizing that after a pretty tough deployment to Afghanistan, I came home and just kind of decided it was time to really take a knee and to focus on my well-being. And I was at an inflection point of either going down a really dark road or, finding some light to create a new life for myself. So and it definitely didn't hurt that, my wife got pregnant. Mm-hmm. So understanding that I was bringing another child into the world, or another human being into the world, felt like a time or a definite inflection point and a responsibility to get my life together, take care of myself, and be able to show up for myself and for my family. And so it became clear to me that my life shifted a bit more than normal. And then growing up without a father, it just immediately made sense to me that I just needed to be home and to stay here, so that way I could provide a life for my son that I wasn't able to have.
Yeah, I really liked how you put that. Summarizing it is like I think about for my own sake, and then for clients that I see too, we have an obstacle, I think, often to self-care, and I think one of the ways of overcoming it or prioritizing it, for me at least, is recognizing that my self-care is not just about myself. It can feel greedy, it can feel selfish, it can feel guilt-inducing to take time for me. But if I frame that and realize that actually I got 2 boys now, my dudes need me to be like at the top of my game, and that doesn't mean running and gunning. It means present, it means affectionate, it means loving, it means healthy, it means their mom and I are in a good place relationally too. So I love that part of your story as well. And there's a link, if it's okay, that I attach to an article that you wrote for Fatherly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Actually,
it was written by one of my best friends, Dan Doty, as told by Dan Doty through the life of Aaron Blaine. So okay. I was really grateful for that article, because it did, he knows me really well, and he did a great job of highlighting those points and make it a really impactful article.
Yeah, love that. Well, I'll include that link if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Love us some benefits from that. So can you talk about what that now involves in terms of your own self-care and your routine, and how you maintain it's still you have, knowing you and know what you're doing now, there's still a high tempo involved, but there's a different priority, it seems like, and a different perspective with that tempo, and just a different output of that tempo in terms of who it's for and who benefits from it. Again, that's one of the things I love so much about you and hearing about is taking that same it's like a benevolent, kind form of aggression to other people, to help them find some of the things that we're talking about, to find meaning, to find purpose, to find true vocation, to find, even to some degree, not to sound woo-woo, but to find self if they've lost it or never had a real connection to it. So you've done work with National Geographic, you've done work with all sorts of organizations. We were just talking about your time up in the Arctic Circle before. Yeah. So tell me what took place in terms of maybe catch us up to speed to where you are now and some of the roles that you've had since transitioning out of the military too.
Yeah, totally. So, the idea of self-care and the way that you just framed that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me coming out of the special forces teams. It was like, go hard all the time and accomplish and aspire to do more and keep going after it. And I think that was great for a good bit of time in my life to have that discipline, have that work ethic, and to be able to really pound it out and create a personality for myself and create a foundation of hard work. And then getting older and moving into my 30s and all of the compounded injuries and training and everything starts to kind of highlight itself a bit more. And so there's like there's an inflection point of understanding that self-care and taking care of your body, taking care of my body, taking care of my spirit, taking care of my mind is a balancing act, and being able to make room for. And I love how you framed that, is taking care of yourself so you can take care of other people. And that's exactly what it was. It was like, all right, I've got to really sink into this and find out what works for me, so that way I can, show up and be, I can play with my son on the floor. I can take my wife out for a date and, go on a backpacking trip with her, or, all that stuff. And so, it was totally a foreign concept to me at first. And kind of the first introduction to self-care was me showing up to a men's group, a local men's group here in Bozeman, and led by a good friend of mine, Dan Doney. And what happened in that group was I felt like I was really welcomed back into my community by other community members. There was this concept of like, I'd go to the VA and talk to some guys that were deployed, and that was great to have the connection to guys who have gone through similar experiences. And then there was a point where I realized, for me, in my experience, being welcomed back by guys who were not in the military and being seen and heard and felt by men that were, attorneys and doctors and trash truck drivers and ranchers. Those are the guys that really saw me and had a genuine curiosity for the journey that I was on, and I had a genuine curiosity of the journey that they had been on, and understanding that trauma and burnout and all of the emotional experiences that we have in life are all very similar, just a different story. And so it was a really cool way for me to see things in a different light and know that I actually wasn't that special, that us human beings are all very similar, and we've all just had a different story.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you're interested in hearing the full interview, you can access that by visiting our YouTube page on the Student Life channel. Also, if you haven't completed it yet, please take the 5 minutes and click on the survey link below and do that to help us and your battle buddies out on campus. As always, keep an eye on your inbox and on our YouTube page for any updated videos and interviews that you might be interested in. Thanks again.